It's time to go ahead and hop back into mastering meditation. So picking up where we left off, we just finished up chapter 8. So now we'll be moving on to chapter 9. Chapter 9 is titled Roll Up of Consciousness. And so because, the title of the chapter might catch your attention, or you might be wondering why he named it that, I'll start off by reading his intro. One morning, while oming into the chakras repeatedly, which is a meditation technique that we covered earlier in this video series, while deep in the freeze response, my consciousness suddenly shot up my spine and snapped back into the brain. It happened so powerfully, it reminded me of watching one of those old roll-up shades. You would pull the shade down, and when you let go, it would quickly roll itself up to the top of the window. That's what happened to me. I was sucked up the spinal highway, and my consciousness rolled itself up and into the brain. This is the roll-up of consciousness. When rolling up, the roller returns to its original state at the top of the window. Likewise, the consciousness of the yogi returns to its origin in the brain. So I thought that was a pretty cool analogy there. Next up, he points out how one of the benefits of getting this whole meditation thing correctly and having your consciousness roll up into your brain is you can you can see things in a different perspective. And he likened it to like when you first fall in love with somebody and you're like head over heels for them. All of a sudden any other discrepancies, whether big or small in your life, kind of just don't matter anymore, right? You're just above all of that on cloud nine. And so when you get this meditation thing just right, it can be a similar type of feeling that you get from it. Next up, he kind of goes into how to access this state, which really just gets back a lot to what we've been covering in this whole book. Is kind of his approach to meditation. And so he breaks up into like 4 different steps. So one is going to be asana, which is basically your body posture. 2 is your pranayama, which he likes to go with this HRV resonant breathing technique, which is where you want your breath rate and your heart rate to sync up with each other. Step 3 is pratyahara, which is the freeze response, essentially when you can start to have your body disappear or feel like your body is disappearing, which is what we were just covering in chapter 8. And then 4 is dharana, clarity revealed through the freeze response, and this is essentially when you get fully focused on what's happening internally. Thus, you start to kind of feel like your body's disappearing because you can't really sense it anymore. Which again is something that will happen every time you're lucid dreaming, which lucid dreaming is basically like a form of meditation. And then even the same thing goes with stage 1 of sleep hypnagogic meditation, right? You can start to lose the sensation and feel of your body in that state as well. And then we'll end it with this part here. So this section of the chapter is titled "There is no death," and he just points out how many traditions attempt to determine how to kill the ego, but this is a gross misunderstanding. The goal is to reduce the clamorous voice of the ego, which is essentially coming from the left side of the brain. And then to kind of highlight this, he gives an example of one of his students. I have a fantastic student who began accessing samadhi on a regular basis. We sat down to discuss his first union to confirm he was actually entering a non-dual state. Sure enough, he was losing awareness of his body, his breath, and his energetic body, resting completely in pure, expanded awareness. As he was describing his state, he said something very interesting. "And then I died," he said. I stopped him there. "When you were in non-dual awareness, did you fall asleep?" I asked. "Oh no," he said. "I was more aware than ever. It was a heightened awareness." "Okay, so if your awareness was still there, what died?" He became very quiet as he realized the disparity. Then he emerged with the truth of the matter. "The words died," he said finally. "Oh my goodness, I couldn't have been more proud." He was exactly right. The left talking mind, the word mind, takes a break as the yogi becomes only pure awareness in the non-dual state of the right brain. Right, essentially when you can get to these peak meditative experience where it is like just pure silence for a time. And yeah, we'll leave it there. Until the next video, keep your meditation practice legit.